Hey all. Last week I was sitting in a waiting room and one of those morning show things was on, and the people talking, what are they called, hosts, said, recent study reveals why Australians are more anxious than ever before. And that was in the first 4 minutes that I was there. And I was there for an hour. Do you think they actually said anything about that study in that ad? No. And so I was like, well, maybe this is why Australians are more anxious than ever before, because you give them a piece of information that is going to create some level of curiosity, because let's be honest, anxiety is pretty prevalent, but then you just leave them hanging for however long. So I never actually got to find out why Australians are more anxious than ever before. So I was like, I'll give you my 2 cents. And it's not rocket science. I'm pretty sure we can all figure this one out. It's not just Australia, it's the whole world. We are more anxious than ever before because we have access to more anxious-driven, fear-based information than ever before. And so if you have your crew and you have the lookout, their job is to look out for danger. And on a ship, they scan the horizon, they use their little I was gonna say telescope focus thingy, and they only have access to a certain amount of visual input, and now imagine giving that crew member a phone and saying, find danger. You have access to the whole planet now. Well, of course, it's going to find stories that are horrific and that are fear-based and that are anxiety provoking, because that's its job. So we were not designed to be exposed to that level of uncertainty and fear and information that is meant to be constantly keeping us alert. We just weren't built like that. And so the more you consume, it's kind of like the algorithm, the more you watch a certain thing, the more of that thing you're gonna get. Well, it's the same with people. The more you focus on a certain area, the more that area will grow, and others will become, not as focused on, but doesn't mean they don't exist. It's just that we are not looking at them. And I think the bigger problem, that is a huge problem, but anyway, let's add another one, is that it's actually getting us really quite disconnected from each other in a world that's more connected than ever before, because we've just become these little isolated information consuming things. And I'm pretty sure that very, very little of that information that we consume we turn into wisdom or any sort of actionable thing. So the whole thing that we are doing is basically setting off our stress response nonstop, boom, boom, boom. aka anxiety. So be informed by all means. Do what you feel is necessary to be well enough informed for you. Everyone's going to be different. I have not watched the news in 10 years. I don't particularly engage in the real world. My actual life is complicated enough. I just don't think I need to add more to it. But at the same time, take some time out to actually connect to the people in your environment, in your world, and see not just the fear and the doom and all the horrible things that are going on with the planet, but also all the beautiful things, the moments of genuine kindness, genuine, compassion, genuine care. So I'm sure you've got some in your life. I certainly have. Like people that, like my neighbor who's retired, he mows my lawns every week. Like, that is just beautiful. If I was just sitting there scrolling on my phone all the time and thinking, oh shit, this whole planet sucks, I would miss those moments of just pure generosity. So, yeah, why is Australia more anxious than ever before? Because the whole world is. And why is that? Because we have access to too much information for our human nervous system to manage. Bye.